Wiadomość z ostatniej chwili. W nocy z 7 na 8 lipca zmarła w wieku lat 58, ciesząca się nieskazitelną popularnością w kręgach LGBT, aktywistka ruchu Tęczy Narodów Magdalena Wysocka, znana powszechnie światu jako Pink Mama. Nabożeństwo odbędzie się w Kościele Nauk Chrystusa Progresywnego pod wezwaniem Tęczy Pańskiej. Pink Mama była ostatnią już przedstawicielką płci żeńskiej,
Super unique.
którą
I've
zabrała
really
epidemia wirusa
never seen anything like it. There was just so much. It was so well done. The acting was great, especially by the lead Erna. That was incredible. Just like completely owned the screen. All those monologues were so impressive, and just yeah, I thought it was just an interesting story, and just beautifully shot. I love the choice to have it black and white, and it was just so clear that the director, I think there were two directors on this, had such a clear vision for the movie and like completely knew what they were doing, and it was just, anytime that's the case, it's great to just sit there and enjoy the ride. So
but I have to say the actors were pretty good. They were pretty good. It was they were trying to create sort of a classical play sort of structure, and then kind of play with that a little bit. And there were some successful things. The actors are very good. The lead actor was good. The guy who's sort of the ambiguous sexuality was good. And it was just interesting. Basically, the premise is that they're the last woman alive because some virus dies, and the only people who've been spared are homosexual men. So you can imagine. But it was kind of some good things, some bad things, a little bit just too static for a film. I could see it as a play, probably a little bit better. And some stuff was just a little too indulgent. But I appreciate and respect and applaud the effort, because it was a worthy effort.
Auteur-esque, it was very symbolic. It was very rich in symbolism. Every scene felt like it had a much deeper meaning to it. The concept was very interesting as well. If I believe I got it right, that basically every woman, the last woman had died, and the only people that were left were homosexual men, and it felt very dark and bleak in the sense that they were talking about different concepts of life, and it kind of felt like a group of people living the last of their days, since there's only one race, there was no way of procreation. Well, yeah, since there was only one group of people, there was no way for new life to be born, so everyone was kind of trying to make the best of it, and it was very, very interesting.
Wow, what a film. Tremendous job with this one. There was some really bold imagery here. Fantastic camera work. I particularly love the shots that were looking up from below. And then this piece pulls us into such an interesting world. Great story with smaller stories within it. My favorite parts were the monologues. I thought they were beautiful. They were performed so well. So hats off to the actors, all of them, for a job well done. And what an ending. I was really intrigued, and I would have loved a little bit more, just to find out a little bit more after that ending. But overall, I thought it was fantastic. Great job.
It was really intense. I thought it started off in a really bold place, and it didn't really shy away from that the entire time, which I liked, because it kind of set the precedent in the very, very beginning, that it was going to be really kind of in your face and really bold. With that opening scene, it was quite an impression to start with, but then it just followed up with that. It didn't really drop off. So I like that they set the precedent early, and then they continued to stay with what they had set, with it being that really going for it, really taking it to that next place, and then by the end having like the bugs and the worms like actually like falling out of his mouth. Like they just really took it to that place. And then by doing all of that, when you got to the funeral and how everyone was reacting to her death, everything just made a lot more sense because they had already committed the entire time to really taking it to the extra place and taking it to the next step, that emotionally everybody was starting to do that with their confessions and their reactions. And so I loved that they kept the consistency the entire time, and they really started out with like setting the precedent, and then they kept with it the entire time.
This was a really interesting piece. It's an amazingly unique story to tell. It's a bold story to tell. It kind of answers the question of what a Westboro Baptist might consider hell, I guess. But I thought it was really, really well done. Just played well, written well. There's some really explicit imagery. The maggots in the mouth, I thought, was just what a commitment to the craft and to the story and just to the whole piece. It just had a really interesting tone filled with really great characters. I really enjoyed a lot about this one. I'm sure some people might find it a little gratuitous at times, but I mean, it's just that kind of film that warrants it. I mean, it's definitely just part of the fabric of what makes this film just really an interesting piece worth checking out.